Hello, this is Bogdan, and today we are going to make the long-awaited review of Dragos Chitan Machete, which I nicknamed axechette because it's quite heavy and sturdy. And yeah, it came with a leather sheath, which is not very strong, not vegetably tanned, but it does the job. And now let's go to the main attraction. It has about 40 centimeters in length. It's spring steel and it's 8 millimeters thick. It's a beast of a knife. It has a high saber grind and a Pertinax handle, which is some sort of micarta. I wrapped a paracord around the handle to allow me to get a better grip on it. And yeah, it's very heavy, but still it's pretty well balanced for how heavy it is. It has some sort of a parang design, or maybe bolo because it has this shape here like a leaf. But yeah, it's a beast of a knife. It's a great chopper, it's a great splitter. And now let's get to the testing. No problems whatsoever. Let's try something a little bit thicker. As you can see, it has a hook on the handle, which helps you keep it in hand when you swing real hard. So yeah, this is not going anywhere, even if I don't use the lanyard, but for safety issues, let's just use the lanyard. Yeah, of course, the weight is doing most of the job, but just look how clean it cuts. For the next test, we are going to progress to an even thicker branch. We secure the knife with a lanyard, and let's proceed. Just look how deep it bites into the wood. It's fantastic. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, let's try something else for a change. Going to try and actually split this little piece of wood to see if I can use the weight of the knife to use it as an axe. So yeah, you can actually use it as a small hatchet because it's so heavy. As the next test, we are going to try something that you usually do with this kind of large chopping knife, and I'm just going to try and show you the power of this blade and the sheer weight of it by trying to actually delimb this with one blow. Let's see if I fail on this test. Yep, I did fail, but still, it's a very deep chop into this wood. Yeah, so it didn't take one chop, it just took two of them for this branch. Let's try the same with a remaining branch. Yeah, it was actually one chop, and the fact that it allows you to choke up on this hook into the handle, yeah, it gives you a lot of strength, and it maximizes the weight and the power of this knife. And let's do some more chopping because yeah, this is awesome. I cannot stop. Just look how deep it bites into the wood. Yeah, very strong knife. One of the other great abilities of a large knife like this is the ability to split large wood, and not only large wood, but long wood. And with an axe it's quite difficult to split a log this length. Let me just chop this very quickly. And of course, for a knife this thick and made from a sturdy steel like 5160 spring steel, you are not going to have any problems about breakages and stuff like that with batoning. So yeah, just pound the shit out of it. I actually broke the baton, but the knife is okay. So yeah, this is not a problem for a knife like this. This is not going to break, whatever you do with it. It's very thick, it's incredibly thick. It's a very sturdy steel and it's very resistant to abuse. So yeah, you can split wood this long, which is kind of hard to do with an axe. I'm a fan of axes, I like axes, but yeah, you can see the usefulness of a knife like this in certain situations. This is not made for this because it's very large, very heavy, but still, let's try to see if we can do some finer tasks with it. This is not a task that you would usually do with a machete or a knife this big and this thick, but if really needed, you can really do some fine shavings with it. But let's be honest, usually you pair it with a smaller knife, and this is just for the heavy tasks. But as I said, if you really want to, if you really have to, you can use it to make fine shavings. As a final test, I'm going to try and chop into this wood to see how it handles a very large wood, which is actually kind of rotten on the surface. But once you get in a little bit deeper, you can see it's very healthy wood, very hard wood. So yeah, it's going to be an accurate test, because this part here, you can actually see how hard it is. Let's try and see how deep it goes with 20 chops, and yeah, let's start the test. Secure the lanyard, make sure I don't injure myself or anyone else, and yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't know if it was actually 20 or around 20 something, but in the area of 20 chops, it's done a pretty good job. It's a very good chopper, it's a very good splitter, and it's a useful wood tool, especially if you don't have to carry it in a rucksack, because it's very heavy. So yeah, if you are to choose between this one and an axe, I don't know, it depends where you're going, but yeah, it's a very useful tool, it's a beast of a knife. I don't think you can break this one, even if you tried. I don't know what you could do to it to break it. And let's test something else. Yeah? So it's not bent, it didn't break. So yeah, it's 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 a beast of a knife. I really don't know what you could do to this to break it. So as a conclusion, yeah, I like this very much. It's a very good tool. It kept itself crazy stupid sharp even after all this. Yeah, you can split, you can baton, you can chop, you can make fine shavings. If you are willing to carry the weight, I totally recommend it. This is not going to fail you whatever you think of doing to it. So I totally recommend getting one of these from Dragos Chitan. But if it's not actually good enough for you and you think it might be too heavy, you can order it in I don't know, maybe 6 or 5 millimeter stick. He's going to do it. It's going to be every bit as useful and as good as resilient, because 5160 is a very good steel and you won't carry as much weight. But if you want this tank, he can do it. I don't know many knife makers that can do this beast of a knife. So yeah, I totally recommend this knife maker, and stay tuned, subscribe, and I'm going to come very soon with new reviews of new stuff. I'm Bogdan, have a nice day.